Hi everyone. How is everyone doing tonight? I use a very delicate little wipe to wipe my mouth. Come in, everyone. I tore something in my knee. Ooh. In the knee. That sounds terrible. Sorry to hear that. Hey Dino. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping. I want to hear from you guys what you're doing, what you're up to, how you're doing. I'm I'll dip into it in a bit, but but I wanted to jump on. I'm filled with regret. Regret, is it? I am no longer using a VPN. Okay, this should be. I've just turned off my VPN. Didn't realize I had it on still. So let me know if this is working better now, and we'll see how we go. But hello to everyone. Hello Dino. Hello Sembal. Hey Hector. Good to see you. Today, and let me know if you can hear me as well. If my mic's okay. Okay, connection's better. Good. It's good to know. So today, I had a bit. Basically, what happened is, because I haven't driven for a while, my battery was dead, which I knew it was going to be dead. I knew it. So, luckily, because my battery died. Let me change the connection. 1 second. So hopefully this is better. Let me give it a little bit of time to figure itself out, and just let me know if the stream goes okay. And also my chat's gone. My on-screen chat that's normally there, it's just gone. It's just not there. It's all breaking down today. It's all breaking down today. Got no chat on screen. Oh, there you go. Okay. It's getting there. We're getting back on our feet. Okay. Good. Tell me, drop in the chat what everyone is up to tonight, or what everyone has been up to this weekend so far. I'd like to hear everyone's weekend so far. Yeah. So basically today, my battery was dead. I had my jump starter from when I broke down the first time and didn't have a jump starter. So I jump started the truck, and I was like, I'm going to be really smart about this. And I ran the truck, and I was like revving it at like 2000 RPM, or between like 1500 and 2000 RPM. And I was, because this is what everything that I read was saying, like, this is what you should do. So I was like, cool. So I did that for ages. I did it for like 30 minutes. And the truck was idling fine. I had gas and everything. And I was like, cool. Okay. Jump started, back up and running. Great. Removed the jumper. And then I was like, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a long drive to, you know, get my alternator charging the battery back up to a decent level. I'd Googled how long to do it for. So I drove for like 45 minutes on top of the 30 minutes that the engine had already been going for. And I was like, cool. So stopped, got myself some gas. I had a bunch of errands that I was going to do immediately afterwards. Turned the engine off, filled up the gas tank, turned the engine back on, dead. Just not working. I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, it doesn't... Ooh, that's weird. So I was just like, yeah, trying to figure out what was going on. Start the car again, still not working. Carried on trying to turn the truck on, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to jump start it. Tried to jump start it again. Wouldn't even jump start, and I was like, oh crap. what the hell am I gonna do? I couldn't figure it out, and I looked and I was Googling, and it was like, what I was getting was like, oh, it's probably it's probably like a starter engine issue or something like that, because I just couldn't figure out what was going on. Anyway, I was like, I'm gonna have to call AAA because I couldn't figure it out. Wasn't jump starting, wasn't starting. Called them out. The guy tested it. Oh yeah, and I tested the battery with a multimeter, and the battery, like the voltage was, from what I could see, was at like not 100%, but it was at like 50% or something like that. So I was like, okay, battery's good. Battery's brand new. AAA guy came, he tested it, and then he was like, put his jumper thing on, which was smaller than mine. It was literally this little micro thing, and he was like, try the key, and I was like, and it just turned on, just turned straight on, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? And that I'd been waiting for him for like 45 minutes, and he was like, your battery's a load of shit, and I was like, I bought it from you like less than 6 months ago, like how is it a load of shit? And he was like, do you want to buy another one? And I was like, fuck no, I don't want to buy another one from you. And he was like, well, you can have the same trouble. And I was like, well, I'm going to have the same trouble because you're selling me duff batteries. So yeah, so I'm not 100% sure exactly what it is. I don't know whether the battery is just not holding a charge. I don't know whether I just needed to drive longer. It should have started, but I don't know. So I managed to get it back. I cancelled all my errands, and now I'm back here at the spot, and I haven't figured out what it is yet. So we shall see. But it's not been a good day. I've had the AC off. They had the AC off in the cab because I was trying to save the battery. I turned everything off. So yeah, so just really odd and very frustrating, and literally 4 hours out of my day was just wasted. And yeah, so that was my day today. I didn't even know whether I was going to get, be able to stream or not. So yeah, pretty sucky day and frustrating day. So that's what happened. I did film, like half filmed it, half didn't film it, because I was just like, this whole video is just going to be me trying to start the truck. But yeah, so we'll see what happens in the future, whether it is a battery issue or there's like a phantom drain on it. I have no idea. Yeah, for anyone who's watching that doesn't know who I am converting an ex-uHaul box truck into a work living space. Which is why I'm talking about the truck like I'm in it, because I am in it. That's where I am right now. Ignore my closet that's open right now. So that's what happened today. Hi, Butterfly Journey Designs. Thanks for joining us. Working on an art project. So mostly listening tonight. Well, thanks for joining us. What art project are you working on tonight? Senval, date last night with a woman from Watford, went well. Date this morning with a woman from New York who was a vet tech in a pet hospital emergency room. Both went well. Very good. Congratulations. Interesting. Which one are you leaning towards? The Watford or the New York date? Cafe 88 Racer, probably a dead cell. Yeah, I don't know, with the battery, like I said, I bought it brand new from AAA. Maybe it wasn't brand new. It definitely, I mean, it looked it. So yeah, there must be like some sort of, oh yeah, you said get a warranty on the battery. Yeah, there is a warranty on the battery, so I need to dig that out and have a chat with them. Because, yeah, sucked, really sucked. And truck batteries are not cheap. They are not cheap. Adventures with Super Dave. Hey, welcome in. Seems like you got it. Get a multimeter and tell us the influx of voltages. Yeah, I did test it with my multimeter. I see I'm learning like incrementally, slightly. So I did pull out the multimeter and put it on there, and I think it was, I can't remember now off the top of my head. I think it said it was 12.8, and when I googled, it said it was at like whatever the percentage was. It was not a dead percentage. It was above 30%. But that was it with the engine. Obviously, with the engine off, I don't know. I have no clue what happened today, to be honest with you. And that's I think that's the most frustrating thing for me, is that like it was just unresolved. So I'm expecting now that the next time I drive the truck, I'm gonna have to jump start it again. That's just kind of my expectation. The thing is, and maybe somebody in the chat could tell me, is that when he jump started it, it wasn't doing the same like sputtering as when I first started it. Like when I first turned it on today, before all of this, and jump started it, it was like really struggling with the battery and stuff. This time round, it wasn't sputtering, and it drove even better. Obviously, I had full tank of gas as well, but I'm just not sure whether it was just like there's something wrong with the initial, like the capacity's okay, but maybe the discharge, you know, that first discharge is not coming out properly. So maybe it's a loose connector. The connectors were tight. Maybe it's a rusty connector. I have no idea. I don't know fucking anything, and that's what I am frustrated with. It's really kicked me in the ass to be like, I really need to know more about engines, because I'm going to end up in a position where I'm going to be paying someone $500 for cleaning the connectors on my battery. So that's not what happened today, by the way, but I don't want to end up in that sort of position. So yeah, frustrating today. But yeah, tell me in the chat if like, tell me in the chat what I might be missing with jump starting the truck, driving it for like 45 minutes around the like 45 minutes on top of a 30-minute like 2000 RPM just in my parking spot. That to me says like there should be a decent amount of charge in the battery at that point. So like that's what I'm like just trying to figure out. It doesn't make sense that I would have to then jump start it again. I don't know. It's sorry. This is my truck therapy session. Anyway, so it was frustrating. I don't want to like just get all annoyed on stream about it, but yeah, it's definitely frustrating today. Senval is leaning towards Watford, his Watford date. She's out of my league and no clue why she said yes to a second date. I'll keep asking. Well, there must be something about you to go to a second date. Butterfly Journey Designs is working on a commission for your boss at work, a very large trifold cork presentation board. Different pairings on each section. It's been a pain to work on because of the awkward size. Awesome. That sounds fun. Carefree Highway. If you have one, a DC to DC charger puts more wear on the starter, battery, and alternator. I do not have a DC to DC charger. I don't. So it's not that. I had considered it. In fact, I did buy one. I bought a Bluetti one at one point and then sent it back before I even installed it because I was like, I'm going to screw up my engine or I'm going to set fire to something, so I sent it back. Super Dave dropping in. Thank you, Super Dave. Dropping in a super chat from Super Dave. Get a new battery from a reputable shop around you, and have them check all the connections on it and check your ground on the engine. We'll do the same. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, and thank you for the advice. I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna check out the warranty on the battery. Well, there's definitely a warranty on the battery. It's within a year, so I'll check that out. But I'll probably end up I will probably end up just getting a refund on the battery and maybe just buying my own battery. So if anyone has any recommendations for 450 truck batteries that are not top of the line, but also not the worst, then let me know. Because I know enough about them to know that they need a bigger initial load to start up, which is why I bought my jump starter that I did, because it has that extra load. But yeah, definitely advice needed. Cafe 88 Racer, could be loose battery cables or bad ground. Yeah, the terminals are not, they're a little bit rusty. I'm gonna be honest about that, so I definitely will be cleaning them. But I'll have to check out the connection as well. Butterfly Journey, I'm not a mechanic, but it sounds like an alternator issue if it keeps losing charge like that. I think O'Reilly's can check it for you if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so my research, I was like, maybe it's a starter issue, but then obviously it jump started. Then I was like, okay, well, it might be an alternator thing, but the battery has been charging because it went from dead to something. So yeah, the thing that I'm also thinking of doing maybe is buying myself like a $15 AC charger, taking the whole entire battery out, plugging it into my wall, charging up and testing it to make sure that it's fully charged. And then testing it from there to see if it's like holding charge from that, because then I know that it's definitely 100% fully charged. I don't know. I'm grateful that it's just a battery issue. Well, at least I think it's just a battery issue, and it's not something more complicated. So like, touch wood that it's nothing more than that. But I do kind of feel dumb as fuck because I'm like, I can't even start my truck. The thing is as well, this week I worked so hard this week, and I was like, I'm gonna take Friday off. And as a lot of people know, I've had 2 days off in the past like 3 years, and I was like, I'm gonna take Friday off. I'm not gonna do a bit of work. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna take Friday and I'm gonna take Saturday off. So Friday, first day off in ages. I didn't film anything. I didn't do anything. I did no work. I checked my emails once. I entered 2 emails and then I stopped. And on Friday, I was like, this is great. I just watched a bunch of crap. I did nothing. I sat here, I just, maybe did a bit of washing. No errands, nothing. And then Saturday, obviously comes, and I'm like, second day off? Great, I'll do my errands today. And in doing my errands, what happened? I wasted 4 hours of my day. So, moral of the story is, kids, never do errands. Never. That is scientifically proven to be a terrible idea. It's just a fact. Real Cruise, hey, I just got done not having my car for 2 weeks. Check your batteries, ground cable and all that too. They could be very well have sold you a shit battery too. AutoZone can test your alternator and battery. Yeah, I'm thinking O'Reilly's or AutoZone is probably a good idea to get at least semi-professionals to look at it. For sure, that makes a lot of sense. I heard AAA sells batteries. Yeah, thanks, Zenval. Clearly, they're not reputable sellers. Super Dave says, "Congrats on 3K subscribers." Ew, I hit 3K. I did not even notice. Wow, thanks guys. 3K. Wow. That must have happened while I was suffering at Shell gas station. Thanks. Dino says, 3K nice job, Senval. Congrats on the 3K. Thank you. Thank you to every single one of you for subscribing. I know that there is literally 20,000, at least 20,000 other van lifey people out there to subscribe to. So I appreciate you following along my breakdowns and my trials and tribulations. And one day, maybe I'll be a real van life YouTube and I'll get on the road and, you know, do something interesting rather than spend time in a parking lot trying to start a battery. Oh, man. Yes, I do appreciate you all. Super Dave says, small victories, keep up the good work. I'm trying. I've got a load of returns to take back to Amazon and had some stuff to pick up from Amazon. And that didn't happen. That's not happening. So I got my, I just charged up my little game and I installed, let me show you. I installed Super Mario Galaxy, ready to play and relax. That is on my list of things to do today, to chill out, is to play Mario. Real Cruise, it's all part of the journey. You know what? It's ironic using that word journey, because it was kind of not a journey today, unfortunately. But it is a small blip on the journey of life, I guess, for sure. So yeah, it's been an interesting little week this week, but overall it's been pretty full of work, which is very boring. But I'm like forcing myself into relax mode. So I've just been trying to watch movies, play video games, just trying to get out of work mode. What I've been doing now in the evenings is I've been blocking my emails. So from like 6 p.m. onwards on most days, I've been stopping any alerts from my emails. I've taken my emails off my home screen. And just any notifications or anything, I'm just like, nope. I'm only accessing emails on my computer now, which means that I am just very separate from work in the evenings, which has helped. It's helped a lot. Super Dave says, whether you're headed to Montana or across the parking lot, it all starts with the turn of the key. How do you make that sound so poetic? Yes, it all starts with the turn of the key. Sometimes several turns of the key. Sometimes turn of the key with a jump starter. But it all does start that. Maybe I should turn this into like one of on the Flintstones, where they don't actually have an engine, they just do their feet. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe that's why I need to turn this truck into a Flintstones truck. No, because then I'll get like a corn or blisters on my feet. Dino says, van life is van life, whether you're camping or in a parking lot. Or both, camping in a parking lot. That is true. I do agree. It is the pros and cons. I would say overall that van life has definitely been worth it for me, despite the moments of the pockets of frustration. It is definitely, it's paid for itself. It's definitely allowed me to do the things that I was wanting to do, for sure. So I definitely have no regrets. Definitely no regrets on van life so far. Carefree Highway, about those wall panel coverings, I'm now looking at vinyl backed canvas fabric, still waterproof and cleanable. That's interesting. That is definitely interesting. I'm definitely tired of looking at plywood. Definitely tired of looking at plywood. Especially plywood with oily fingerprints on. So yeah, I think by the end of the year, by the end of the year, this will be done and decorated, for sure. This week, I've done nothing in terms of van build. I wanted to, I had planned to cover up my grandma's attic, but the week got away with me, so I did not do any van stuff this week, which is unfortunate. But I did have my evenings, and that was nice. I watched a documentary the other night, and it's called Dear Zachary. I don't know whether anyone's seen it before, and I've seen it before, and I knew it was sad, but I watched it again the other night and was like, this is one of the saddest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. So that is something that I did this week, trying to relax. Ended up watching a really depressing documentary. But I have been watching. I've been watching Alien Earth. Let me know in the comments what you've been watching on. Any good shows or anything that I can watch to relax. I've been watching Alien Earth, which has been really good. That's a really, really good show. I've been watching that. I watched that depressing documentary. What else have I been watching? I can't remember. I did book in to go to the cinema to see the latest Conjuring movie, but that was on Sunday, but then work happened and I couldn't. So I had to replace that with work, but I might go and see that again. Oh, and I want to see the new Spinal Tap movie that's coming out as well. So any recommendations in chat about TV or movies that are coming out recently that are good, let me know. Stream is sponsored by Ozarka today. It's not my usual Kroger water sponsorship. Just Ozarka. Super Dave says, have you checked out a paint that is thicker so you can put designs into it? Like, how do you mean? Like designs like drawing on it? Or, oh, you mean like when people do that speckling or like waves and all that sort of stuff? That kind of thing? That could work. It'd be a bit 80s, but it could work. Potentially. Potentially. Yeah, I definitely don't want to have just plain white. I want something at least like textured. For sure. Oh, my light died. It's all kicking off. It's all kicking off. It's just one of those days, I think. Let me find another light. Give me 1 second. The batteries are dying non-stop. Oh, perfect. There you go. I can be a video game streamer and put in some neon lights. There you go. That's a bit better. Yeah, I definitely I'm definitely in final stage decoration headspace now. Ready to get this decorated. I was considering just buying a shitload of paint and just doing it before I actually finish the rest of the stuff, just because I don't want to look at plywood. I've had so many comments from people on videos that are just like, When are you going to do something about that plywood? Because it is not nice looking. So yeah, maybe that will actually motivate me. Maybe I should do it that way. Is get it decorated. Get it decorated first, and then I'll be motivated to actually finish the kitchen and the shower and the grandma's attic. Maybe that's the way I could do it. Will Ty, if you have Apple TV, the new season of Slow Horses is coming the week of September 24th. It's a good show, which I believe is based in Britain or England, whichever one has MI5. Both. England is part of Britain. That's interesting. Slow Horses, I've heard of that. I've not seen it though. Slow Horses. I'm going to put that on my list. Apple TV. Apple TV has some good stuff. I liked Severance. That was good. Severance is a good show. Okay, Slow Horses. I'm going to put that on my little list. Slow Horses. Beautiful. Okay. That is officially on the list. I watched The Studio as well. That's a good show. That's funny. That's Seth Rogen running a movie studio. That's been good. So I've got Dairy Queen on my mouth still. I'm an absolute mess today. I am an absolute mess. Completely unprepared. Very unprofessional. Which is what is expected on a Simple Box stream. So yes. Okay. So yeah. That is on my agenda, is to finally get decorated this week. That's a bit wild, isn't it? Finally start considering decoration, getting my grandma's attic covered up, getting my kitchen done. I have carved some space out this week to do it, to start doing some work on it. As long as I can get the truck started, that is what I'm going to be doing. And hopefully make some more videos out of it. I've got a bunch of videos coming up of some little mini projects, tiny projects, but projects that make a big difference nonetheless. My sanity's been saved by smaller projects, so I'm getting ready to do these bigger projects now. I'm getting this grandma's attic done, and kitchen and flooring. Super Dave says, when are you going to begin your shower idea? That is a good question. I still feel like that needs to be last. But I'm not 100% sure. So for anyone who doesn't know, the idea that I'm having for my shower is that in the corner between my kitchen and the wall of the cab is 24 by 24 inch space that is perfect for a little shower drain. When I say perfect, I mean tolerable. And then, so I'm going to have a shower drain there going into the floor. Then up to the countertop is going to be like cupboard doors, so it's going to cover up that shower. And then there's going to be a surface, a continuation of the kitchen surface above it, so it's all going to be enclosed. But that surface is going to raise up, so you can open the front doors to step in to have the shower. but it's going to be so much sawdust. It's going to be so much work. And then I'm going to have to change all my water tanks, and I'm dreading it. I'm really dreading it. Super dreading it. And then I spoke with, on comments, I spoke with Dave from Van Life Meow, who has obviously been through this whole process of converting the truck. And he was like, by the way, 24 by 24 might be a bit small. I was like, oh shit, I literally can't make the space any bigger. I can't move my cabinets anymore because A, they're bolted into the wall. They're bolted into the wall. The panel next to it won't allow it to move any further. I have to do more cuts, and I just am unable to. I can't do it any other way. I boxed myself into a corner, so I have to have a 24 by 24 shower, or destroy my truck, changing it round. So just gonna have a cramped shower. I think that's what I have to do. So yeah, so I think my thinking is, can't believe it's September, can't believe it's almost October. My thinking is the shower will be October time. The next couple of weeks I'm gonna get really gonna crack on with the rest of the big things. Grandma's attic, doors, I mean that's probably a couple of hours, not even. Kitchen cabinets, that's going to be like multiple days because it's just fiddly, and making drawers is just a pain in the arse. Yeah, kitchen, flooring, I'm going to get vinyl flooring. I've never laid that before. That's going to be interesting. Here's a question for you guys. When I do vinyl flooring, I've got underlayment on my floor, like just whatever 3mm plywood, and it's screwed in. If I put vinyl on top of that, will the heads of the screws like scrape through? Because they're not exactly sunk in. Or should I put something on top of them? What should I do? Should I unscrew them and just panel them in? I don't really know what to do. I've never done flooring. I've never done any of this. Yeah, still figuring that bit out. Will Ty says Taron Egerton has a pilot show on Apple TV called Smoke. Interesting. He's a good actor. Carefree Highway. A curtain would help with elbow room. Yeah. Yeah, I may need to, with the flap, the opening up flap thing, I may need to re-engineer the shower idea, period. I may need to re-engineer it and think of a different way of doing it. I really do want to have a shower. Some people do them where they're like, you literally hang them up, you have like the floor open up and there's a little drain pan and stuff. Yeah, should have been the first thing that I did. I should not have put that off until the end. I should have done it first, got it done and dusted, and then just forgotten about it while I did the other stuff. Yeah, I may need to rethink it. Super Dave says, have you seen those kits that are fold-away kits that fold into a wall? Oh, of the shower kits? I think I have. Can you remember the name of them? I think I do recall someone having one in the Sprinter maybe, or was it a Schoolie? I can't remember. Yeah, I do vaguely remember that. Maybe that's something I could do. Anyway, I can do this easier at this point now is going to be helpful. I don't want to do one of those things that people, you know, the where people put hooks in and you spend 7 days putting the clipping the hooks to a shower curtain, and then you've got like a kiddie pool and all that sort of stuff. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have an outdoor shower either. But I definitely need to figure out the shower situation. I really do. Especially by the end of the year, because I do not think that I'm going to be in Texas for another summer. I do not want to be in Texas for another summer, to be honest. So this fall and winter, I really want to get this done, and then have a few months of getting like the mechanics in a good place, including a new battery, and then maybe go in somewhere else. I was speaking to someone about Tennessee. So if anyone's been to Tennessee, let me know, because I'd be interested in hearing about that, not just for van lifers, but just for like scenery and stuff, because that's not too long a drive, and I'm thinking maybe I'll do a few trips out there. That is what I'm considering. So yeah, we shall see what it's like. What it's like on the road. Where do you guys, if you were in Texas, and you could go to any sort of neighboring or close state, where would you go if money and travel time wasn't an issue? Where would you satellite out to for a couple of weeks? Especially in like springtime. So I'm trying to think that far ahead. Glenn Morrison says northern New Mexico. Interesting. Is that is Albuquerque in northern New Mexico, or is that still? Let's see. Let us see. New Mexico. Albuquerque is kind of in the top third, but then there's Santa Fe. Okay, Santa Fe National Forest, I guess you're talking about. That looks pretty as fuck. Gonna be honest on that one. That looks pretty as fuck. Okay. So perhaps, should we get it on the screen? Let's have a little look. Let's have a little butchers. Oh damn, I didn't mean to use Bing. Okay, I know this isn't on the screen yet, hold on. Trying to get my browser going. Okay, live screen, screen capture. Okay. New Mexico. Okay. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I can't look at a map without doing a capture? Okay. Thanks, technology. Cool. So northern New Mexico. So let's look at the national forest here. Ooh. Well, this would be a nice little trip. Damn, I had no idea that New Mexico was like this. Wow. Okay. Well, that's going on the list. Okay. Good suggestion. Well done, Glenn. Proud of you. Butterfly says Mississippi. Check out the crossroads if you like the blues. And if you're a history buff, there are plantations in Vicksburg and Natchez. The military park in Vicksburg is cool. Okay, Mississippi. Let's see. Ooh. How... Okay. Let's see. That's close to neighboring, right? They're all almost touching, I guess. We'll give you a pass on that one. Okay, Vicksburg is what you said, right? And that's also close by. Why won't it let me click on Vicksburg? Let's just do this. Okay, seems very historical. Wow, it's pretty. Pretty. Okay. Good call. Will Ty, be sure to pick a state that is friendly to nomads and van lifers. Yeah, they seem to be coming fewer and further between, unfortunately. For sure. Glenn Morrison, but that's only if you want to go to a surrounding state and stay there. Personally, I would spend summers as far north as possible, winters in Texas, and the rest in between. Yeah, I'm still not 100% sure whether I would satellite out or not. I have the luxury to do that, but I don't think I could do what a lot of people do, where they're constantly like every day a new place. That kind of gives me a bit of anxiety, where they're like, I'm in this city and then this city and then this city and then I'm trying this and this and this. I don't think I could do that, but I wouldn't mind pivoting around. Will Tide, does Texas have any BLM land? I believe Texas has almost none. Yeah, Glenn says not much. I think that it's all pretty much in the northwest like pocket. Texas will BLM land. Let's take a look. As you can see, very little red. Oh, okay. I guess I was not. Maybe that image search is terrible. Okay, there you go. Just go on their website, I guess. Okay. So let's look at. Can I just type in Texas? Okay, let's just do Houston and then we'll zoom out. Or I guess we'll just zoom in and just see what happens there. Nope. Map layers. Oh man, are you really gonna make me read all this stuff? Can you not just tell me? Okay. Dunno. I don't believe it's much. I think that the little image thing that we saw before was pretty accurate. Where are we? Oh, there you go. Van life, BLM land. So there's a little bit here on the border, and then some little pockets here. Whether anyone could camp there is anyone's guess. Yeah, unfortunately, not great. Tetravan folding shower kit. Thank you, Super Dave. I will have a look at that. Butterfly Journey. The entire Four Corners area is beautiful. Utah, Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico. When you say, see, I think I know this. When you say Four Corners, that is where the four corners of each state meet at one point, right? I feel like that is a bit of knowledge that I have in my head that might be correct. But it also could be just bullshit that I made up. Let me know if I'm right with that. Glenn says Crossbar Special Recreational Management area northwest of Amarillo, which includes 11,883 acres of surface estate. Glenn, are you a cop? You speak like you're a cop right now. I guess that's the BLM land that you're talking about. Butterfly Journey, if you want cooler temps in the summers, you need to look at places at higher elevation. That is a good call. Sunval, yep, that's the Four Corners. Okay. Yes, okay. Good. I'm glad that I know the Four Corners. I don't know how. I genuinely don't know how, because I've never been to any of those places. So, God knows. Glenn says, thank Google for that, lol. Yes, it definitely felt like a copy and paste job on that one. Yeah. Okay, that's some good ideas for future journeys. Butterfly Journey says Moab, Utah is beautiful, and there's a BLM land there, and in western Colorado. I feel like West is definitely seems to be more like van life friendly, or RV friendly, I guess, as well. For sure, compared to the East Coast at least, and in terms of like BLM land, as we even saw on the map, I think that yeah, West Coast is doing pretty good for BLM land compared to the East Coast. Oh, wow, Florida's just got a bunch. Is that the Everglades there? Where's the Everglades in Florida? But yeah, I do feel fortunate being in Texas. I have to stay here for a little bit, which gives me a good opportunity to satellite out on little visits. But I can see the draw. I can see the draw of the West Coast for sure when it comes to van lifeness. There seems to be a kind of a journey for a lot of van lifers where they do the vehicle thing, and then they kind of expand out the vehicle. Maybe they do a second build or whatever it is, and then after the second build, then they sort of go, maybe I'll look at some land, and then they like get some land, and then next thing they've got like a cabin built on there. So I could see that happening, but it wouldn't be for a while, I don't think. But there definitely seems to be a van life path from vehicle to cabin to off-grid life. I saw a guy, I actually subscribed to him the other day. where he had a shipping container, which I know was like a big thing years ago, but he got the shipping container on like 5 acres of land and started turning it into a place. And I was like, oh, good for you. And he was doing it with like zero money, which is super interesting. But yeah, I think if van life became more, you know, unaccepted, especially when it comes to city stuff, then that would have to be an option, because no one can kick you off your own land. That's the unfortunate situation, I think. But we'll see. We shall see. It's all in flux. Definitely invest in annual national parks pass. Well worth the money. Interesting. Butterfly journey designs. In the summertime, you want to avoid the panhandle areas of Texas and Oklahoma, Tornado Alley. Yeah. Texas weather is a fun one. Probably the most comments I get is on my video with the storms, where people are like, oh my god, like this guy's freaking out over a storm. And like it's tough, because in that video, I love storms. Like, I love rain, I love storms, and I've been through so many in Texas, and I've loved every moment of it. But in that one particular video, I just had flashbacks to the derecho, and also the sound in the video. I used like a noise reduction filter, so my voice came out clearer, but it makes all of the rain sounds like minimal. So people watch the video and they're like, it's not raining that much. And there's me freaking out over some storm, and everyone's like, I would have the best sleep of my life in a rainstorm like that. And I'm like, no, it's way worse than it is on video. And also a year before, like, literally my entire neighborhood was destroyed by this derecho. So I think people think that I've got this like aversion to extreme weather. Oh, sorry, thank you, Simbal. So yeah, I'm not averse to terrible weather, but I definitely don't want to be in hurricanes and tornadoes where possible. Not in the truck, at least. Carefree Highway, yes, Everglades further south. Oh, okay. Shows the Appel. I'm not even going to pronounce that. My day has been way too long to be able to pronounce that. Up in the Panhandle as well. Been in the latter in a truck camper. How many people, especially in chat, who are van lifers, went from like being a weekend warrior to actually living in? Like, I'm always interested in hearing like how people chose to go from part-time to full-time, because that's always been because obviously I went from 0 to 100 in one go with my van life progression journey. But I'm always interested in the people that sort of like had like a couple of weekends or did a truck camper or whatever it is, or RV, and then decide to go full time. I'm always interested in hearing people's stories. Senval, if you want to see something scary and cool, head to Southern California during fire season. The fact that there is a fire season, like, you've got to understand like how nuts that is for someone from Europe, the UK specifically. Like, we don't have any animals, we don't have any wild animals that can harm you. The most in danger I've been in the UK with animals is that like I nearly got run over, like pushed down by a cow once. So the UK is very like cotton wool and all that sort of stuff, especially in terms of weather. So the fact that you come to a country and it's like, oh, by the way, every year just have massive fires, and loads of people just get their homes destroyed every year. Sucks. Is pretty wild. A friend of mine lost his house in the California fires last year, and he was just like, it was just a matter of when, not if, it was just a matter of when. And I was like, man, that's like crazy. Yeah. Got reactions. Hey, yo. Hey, welcome in. Good to see you. Will says they can kick you off your own land if you violate. There's sometimes strict restrictions and regulations as far as what you are allowed to do and put on your land, so due diligence before that. Yeah, I mean, a large majority of that is HOA, which would not be a thing that I would ever get involved in, not again anyway. But yeah, obviously there's restrictions. I believe, and maybe someone knows better in the comments, but I believe that like Texas, Tennessee, New Mexico, Arizona have some of the weaker restrictions in terms of like building on your own land. Obviously it depends on like county specific, but in general, I believe those states have weaker restrictions. I've definitely perused it in a mini Google here and there. Butterfly Jenny says, the rain down south is on another level. My daughter-in-law freaked out when she experienced her first big thunderstorm in Texas. She grew up in western Colorado where it rarely rains. Yeah, because the thing in Texas compared to like elsewhere that I've been, is that it can just, like, I didn't understand what flash flooding was until like you actually see it and you're like, oh, like it literally can turn in seconds and you've just got like a wall of water coming at you. The derecho that we had, we got 15 minutes notice, and on that 15-minute notice, the sky turned black. It was like 5 p.m. or something like that. Looked outside and it looked like midnight. All the street lights were on because it was so dark outside. Sky was black. In the parking lot, the wind was tearing off the corrugated metal on the top. That was before the derecho hit. Cars were literally like tilting on their axles, and I was just like, holy shit, like what do I do? So I just went in the closet and just waited for it to be over. And even after it was over, it was still just shitting it down outside. The entire street was just turned over. All the electricity was out. It was crazy. And then like people died, like literally just across the parking lot, people died. And it was not even 15 minutes warning. It's crazy. If I'd been outside, I don't even know whether I'd have time to get inside. It really does turn in seconds. Got reactions. If you think about how dry a Christmas tree gets, and if you've ever seen videos of the bursting, you can understand, because California is covered in Christmas trees. Oh, yeah, I actually saw a video, like a YouTube video of someone throwing a Christmas tree on a bonfire, and then it literally within not even a quarter of a second is just in flames. So that makes complete sense. Damn. Adventure with Super Dave, health and safety regulate it. They can only regulate what they can catch you doing. Butterfly Journey, Texas is not that strict in rural areas. Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's definitely what I've heard. There's lots of tiny homes in this area, which is about an hour and a half north of you. Okay. Yeah, I feel like rural Texas has has a high. I'm tired. I'm sorry. It's been a day. I feel like rural Texas has a lenient, a strong lenience. Strong lenience, Chris. Come on. Will Ty, it's mostly city and county zoning boards that you have to worry about as far as buying land. Senval, oh, you run into a tool shed full of sharp tools and then use a belt to strap yourself to an underground water pipe junction. Simple. Are you talking about when a storm hits, or if I'm in a horror movie? Yeah, I think what I would potentially do, I have no idea, but what I would potentially do is buy a spot of land, always have that to be able to have the truck on if I need to, maybe have a little cabin on it, build that cabin out slowly, but be able to travel out as well. I think that would be potentially be a plan of some sort in the future. Not right now, but I could see that being useful. And then if I ever get kicked out from a city for being in my van, I can just sob home to my little plot of land. Senval, from the movie Twister. I saw it in a movie, so it must be real. Oh yeah, it was. That was it. Twister. It's been a while since I've seen Twister. I didn't see the sequel either. Super Dave says Tennessee is #1 for buying land and homesteading on it. Is it? I did not know that. I don't know why I. In fact, I do know why I have Tennessee in the mind, is because multiple people have just randomly said it recently, but when, you know, in the video that I just released, I just got all my stuff like put in the back of a truck. The guys that picked that up, the one guy I was talking to, and I was talking to him about the truck and stuff, and he was like, wow, so you can go anywhere? And I was like, yes, potentially. Am I? No, not yet. And he was like, I was like, you know, tell me where would you go? If you had the choice, if you could go anywhere, like right now, in a van, where would it be? And he was like, Tennessee, easy. I'd go to Tennessee, I'd watch the turning of the leaves. I'd go to the Smoky Mountains. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And he was just obsessed with it. So a lot of people have just randomly mentioned Tennessee, and then he was like, just without even thinking, he was like, yeah, I'd go straight to Tennessee. So Tennessee definitely seems like an easier trek for me, at least, to look into. Butterfly Journey says landing zone. That's what I want to do too. Oh yeah, so like you've got a base to come back to, but you can always go out, travel, and do it that way. I think that's a good way of doing it. You know, like I've owned a house before, and the thing about owning a house that is built for you, at least from my perspective, was like this idea that you get a debt that you have to pay for a long period of time. I'm in the creative industries. Things are never stable. They've never been stable in the creative industries. They're less stable now than they ever were. So having a 30-year debt in this environment is does not fill me full of happy, warm joys. But so that's why this particularly appeals to me right now. But the idea of building something, or at least like, buying a rundown cabin and renovating it on the cheap, appeals to me. To be able to just be like, hey, here's my little place. I don't have to. It didn't cost me, $300,000 to $500,000. But it does me, and I also get the opportunity to travel outside. I don't have any debt to pay. I don't have, if shit hits the fan, I've always got a house. Always got 2 houses, one on wheels, one in, one is a little homestead. That appeals to me for sure. So potentially maybe that's what I'll do eventually. I don't know. Super Dave says Knoxville, Tennessee is where I would go. Interesting. What is it about Knoxville, Dave, that appeals to you so much? I'm going to generalize massively here, but from what I can tell, every person that I've met that has told me that they're from Tennessee, every single one, without exception, so far, has been really genuine, really open, really kind, and really chill. Like, doesn't mean that every single one is. Doesn't mean they wouldn't punch me in the face given 2 seconds. I don't know. But so far, I've had good experiences with people from Tennessee. So, points for Tennessee. That's all I'm saying. Do we have anyone from Tennessee in the chat? What is this? What is the stereotype of Tennessee? The only thing that with Tennessee that I would miss compared to Texas, because there's no way that Tennessee has as good barbecue as Texas. There's just no way. I don't believe it until I probably wouldn't even try eating it because I just feel disappointment. There's just no way. Whatever the equivalent of barbecue is, it's not going to be Texas barbecue. It's the only thing I'd miss. Got reactions. Hopefully with a mailbox and secure storage for when away. Yeah. Yeah, I think obviously it takes some time to set up a little homestead kind of thing, getting water connected and all that sort of stuff, which I do, depending on the price. I think it, depending on how rural you are, it probably costs a few grand to get all that set up, but if not, then there's ways of doing it. Yeah, it would be of interest. Got reactions. Rundown cabin would be very cool. Yeah, the reason why I said that is there's a YouTuber that popped into my feed recently, Kelly. I feel like her name is Kelly Hayes, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it's Kelly Hayes. She was a van lifer, it seems, and has got a little cabin. She found a kitten the other day, but she's basically got this cabin that she's renovating. I would not like that kind of cabin, but it's cool that she just, she has a cabin and she's renovating it out rather than, I mean, can you imagine me building a cabin? Oh my God. It would be absolutely destroyed. But if the bones of it were already there, like if it was literally like just, someone started to build it, and then gave up on it or something like that, that would appeal to me, to be able to go, okay, I can renovate this, but I know at least it's not going to fall down. Not from my own hand anyway. Kind of like this with the box. It's like, okay, structurally it's fine. It's not going to fall down, and I'm confident in that. That would appeal to me, I think, for sure. Doesn't have to be that big. and then you know, I could be in here and build it out from there, and I could still actually work and do everything that I need to do as well. Yeah. But yeah, it's, I mean, starting cost, right? Cost a bunch. Butterfly says, I've heard Memphis area has good barbecue, but haven't tried it, so can't confirm. As good as Texas? I mean, someone's got to be number two, I guess. Will Ty says, it's beginning to look like nomad living is going to be the only affordable way of living with how expensive things are getting. Yeah. Yeah, it's things are getting tighter, for sure. There are a lot of people out there that are buying houses and renting them out. There's a lot of big companies doing that, buying entire housing estates and renting them out. I think, what's the name of the company? I think BlackRock, isn't that the company that's doing that as well? Yeah, there's a lot of crap going on that's making things way more expensive. It's what happens when you don't have any sort of regulations on things, is that people go, oh, I'm going to hit the money button a million times in a row. Who gives a shit whether it hurts anyone? Yeah, so I definitely see vehicle dwelling. You know, I'll be honest, when I first started looking at van life, I was like, not for me. Like, when I first looked at it, I was just like, it's just not a thing for me. Good for other people. And then when I really started looking into it and I saw people living in cars and stuff, I'll be honest, I was just like, I just don't understand. I didn't get it. I don't understand, because I was thinking that it was like, that it was a choice rather than a necessity, which was really ignorant of me, to be honest. But you know, the more that I saw, the more I was like, oh, I totally get it. Like, of course, because at the end of the day, if you have a choice of, you know, paying $1,500 into somebody else's pocket, or live in your car, I mean, you know, when times are tight, yeah, it completely makes sense. You know, and you've got to do what you've got to do to get through your situation. So I totally get it. But yeah, it sucks that the environment is such a way where it's like there's not really affordable rent, or there is affordable rent, but it's, you know, taken up. It really does suck. So yeah, I definitely really respect people who go into alternative lifestyles like this, and all varieties of it, in order to not just make ends meet, but, you know, live the life that they want to live. And, you know, sometimes people need a second chance as well. Yeah, shit gets hard and you can get in a tough spot very easily. Very easily. There are very few safety nets in this country. It's not a complaint. I love this country. It's my home. I'm staying here, whether you like it or not. But there are few safety nets, and people can come unstuck really quickly, which sucks. Really does suck. So back into chat. Let's see. Got reactions. A lot would be established, like a road and such, just fix up and maintain. Yeah, having a little homestead with a little road, a little connect to the grid just in case. Super Dave, I had a truck route that went into Knoxville. Just got a really good vibe from the area, and it doesn't have any income tax. Love that. And they are good with tiny houses for permanent residents. Interesting. You have solidified that in my mind a little more. Sam, I think it's Blackstone buying houses and more than Black Rock, but also Vanguard, which is a name many will know. Okay, thank you for that, Sam. Clippy nose. Clippy nose. Butterfly Journey. I started out wanting a schoolie because I drive a school bus, but box trucks are easier to build out. Yeah, you know what? I was also in a place where I think I said this last stream, but yeah, I saw a schoolie and was like, the schoolies are awesome. Like, what an incredible size. Like, what an awesome size. If schoolies, for me, if they didn't have all of those windows, and they had an engine that was not as difficult to maintain, from what I hear. Actually don't know what engine they have, but I heard that schoolies are difficult to maintain. Then yeah, schoolie would be perfect. Also, if I was a capable driver, that would also help. Got reactions. Schoolies and shuttles were appealing to me too, but the windows and more difficulty. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, schoolies are so close. They're a bit more expensive as well. I think the cheapest schoolie when I was looking was like 20 grand, and this was, I forgot what it was now. Was this 7.5? I can't remember. So yeah, schoolie's higher startup price as well, and then you've got to change. You've got to raise the roof as well on a schoolie. You don't have to, but I would have to. Yeah, and all those windows in Texas, I would be a fried Chris, crispy Chris. Carefree highway, plenty of inexpensive houses, far from big city economies. Good deal for remote and online workers. Yeah, I mean that is true. I think the problem with that is that a lot of the online and remote work stuff is in a different income bracket than, you know, there's fewer sort of lower income bracket kind of remote work in general. So yeah, it just becomes like it never quite aligns with affordable housing. Never quite aligns with the people who need it the most. In general, but yeah, there is, you know, there's definitely options. You know, I think I said last week, as well, about like in my situation, someone was like criticizing me because it was like, well, you know, most people can't afford to do what you're doing, kind of thing, which is true. My build in general is not like the lowest budget sort of van build or anything like that. Yeah, so you know, it's, I mean, the lower income people always end up getting screwed, just in general. They always get the shit end of the stick. Got reactions, and then not sure on replacement part costs for those. The E350, E450, I wouldn't worry. Yeah, the reason why I got the box truck is because what I was reading is like it's literally the most common truck, you know, to drive across the country. No matter where you are, you're going to be able to find a mechanic that can work on an E450. You're always going to be close by someone that can do that. Whereas like a schoolie, you might be out of luck for it. So I kind of wanted to have the safer bet. Butterfly Journey. Buses break down a lot. At least ours do in our school district. Got reaction. Shuttles are cheap and seems to be a lot of them. Guess there's not a lot of use for them secondhand. When you say shuttles, do you mean what do you mean? Sam, but can you get a school bus with a working AC heat as a backup for whatever system you installed? Can you get a school bus with a working AC heat as a backup for whatever system you installed? I don't know what that means. Well, Ty, BlackRock has their hand in many investments, even crypto now. Okay. What's Fly Journey and more conspicuous than a bus? School is definitely more conspicuous than a bus. That is for sure. Got reactions. I was reading about Blackstone the other day. Too forgot their niche. Their niche is money. Oh, shuttles are the short school buses. Oh yeah. They obviously definitely less stealth, but I kind of like the size of them. For me, this is as close to a perfect size. Some days I have days where I'm like, wow, maybe I wish I got the 10-foot one. But I think in general, I'm happy with the size for me. Super Dave, BlackRock is investing in Jiffy Lubes. Is this going to turn into a BlackRock conversation? Got reactions. We have to vote with our money. Unfortunately, we do have to vote with our money. As you probably tell, I've actually started to try to do that more in general. I've definitely tried to do that more in general because that money impacts local communities. It impacts politics. Both parties. Unfortunately, the system is funded by big donations. So yeah, every dollar you spend will go towards some sort of cause, and we have to check whether that cause aligns with what we want or not. So we don't have to. Well, we don't have to, but I'm finding it useful to pay attention to where my money is going, and making sure that it aligns with the country that I would like to see form. Got reactions. I got Linux Mint installed, should be able to ditch Windows, found a replacement for everything. That's it. For me, like things like operating systems is going to devolve into nerdy chat. But yeah, things like operating systems and things like that. I use Windows. Windows in general works, it's great, but I paid the money. Why am I getting advertisements? Why am I getting ads in my Windows? Why am I getting, once again, forced to install or like pushed to install a bloody browser that's terrible? I know you just saw me using Edge. I only use that for the stream, but I don't use Edge as my normal browser. And it's things like that. Why do I have to register an account with you in order to log into a software that I've already bought? So it's stuff like that that is like, I've already paid money for this. You buy a subscription service, and then they go, oh, by the way, we're putting ads in now. I know you pay $15 a month to get rid of ads, but now we're putting in ads, and we're going to raise it $2. And if you don't like it, then you don't have access to all that other stuff. So yeah, I really want to get away from like renting stuff. I want to own stuff. I want to make stuff. I want to have some control over it. And I'm getting a little bit frustrated at being nickeled and dimed. When I looked, one of the things that sprung to push me into van life or influence my van life journey is when I looked at the amount of subscriptions that I had for software that I use for my job, and I looked at the price of that, and I was like, if I get rid of this subscription, I wouldn't be able to work. But this subscription is so much, I'm kind of screwed to it. and it really frustrated me. When I looked at all the subscriptions of all the other stuff, of just like Netflix and other software, and I'm like, wow, I'm just hemorrhaging money to someone just to have access to their software for like 5 minutes a month. It's ridiculous. So everything, pretty much everything that I'm doing is getting rid of subscriptions, getting rid of software, getting rid of paying someone a monthly fee every single month just to live. I'm trying to get out of that as much as possible. We need to. There's a lot of companies out there that are trying to prevent you from repairing your own stuff as well. There's people out there that talk about like right to repair and things like that, of just like your legal right to repair your car engine, you know, rather than it being bricked by a software update, stuff like that, which is just like, it's not even political to me. It's just like, that is just a right that you should have. If you buy a thing, you should be able to do whatever you want with that thing. If you break it, if you repair it, if you add it onto another thing, it's just very simple. You should be able to do whatever you want with it if you buy it. And if I'm not buying it, then make it explicit that I'm renting it. Don't put a buy button on a game. If it's a license, say rent. Make it clear to everyone that we're renting rather than buying. Because things are changing. Sorry, I went on my little rants again. People saying, okay, let me get back up with chat. Look what happened when Budweiser did their advertising thing. Yeah. Got reactions. There's at least 3 good video editors that I've seen that you should try. I've now changed my video editor, editing software. One of the first things I did. I got pretty much everything running and never put an email in anywhere. Butterfly Jenny, it's all about tracking your info. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, I know that so much of our data is already out there, but I really want to limit it now. Got reactions. Got this thing called FreeTube. It's a front end for YouTube. Interesting to know. Just to let everyone know that I would never advocate for privacy. I would never advocate piracy. Never say that. You're free to make whatever decisions you want on the things that you do. I would definitely recommend investing in small creators and finding a way for like video games and music and all that sort of stuff, rather than doing it on Spotify or whatever it is. If you like an artist, find a way to donate to them directly with the least amount of friction, to support those people, because if you listen to something on Spotify, chances are they're not going to get paid very much for it. Sam says, just bought a used PS4 for a Blu-ray player. Good deals on DVDs and Blu-ray at the local resale shop. The ownership equals perpetual revocable license thing, and subscriptions are both complete BS. Yeah, it's getting pretty bad that everything is a subscription, and everyone's kind of used to this not buying thing. Yeah, it really is. It kind of sucks. I don't think it's always going to be like that. I'm actually quite optimistic about it, but things get really bad before they ever get better. I think things are in a place now where they're getting really bad and people are feeling it. Now we just have to find the alternatives to push, and that's why I'm trying to be a bit more vocal about it. Not to be like preachy, but to be a bit like, hey, if you feel it too, then let's look into free open source software. Let's look at free alternatives, or smaller creator alternatives that are helping small communities keep independent developers alive and eating, things like that. it's useful. Lewis Rossman mentioned. There you go. I don't actually subscribe to him, but yeah, he does. He talks about that a lot. Is it pronounced Lewis or is it Louis? I don't think I've ever heard him say his own name. Got reactions. I could fill the chat on this, but then everyone would leave. Yeah, I probably spoke about it more than I should. Butterfly Journey Designs. Farmers have that issue with tractors and farm equipment. Yeah, I heard that John Deere are pretty bad with that sort of stuff. This right to repair stuff. It's wild. It's pretty wild. They have to take it to They have to take it to authorized dealers for repair. Yeah, it's not great. Will says most people definitely have too many subscriptions. I know I do. I still do. Like, I don't want to pretend that I'm some sort of saint of just like, hey, like, don't worry about it, I figured it out. I still have way too many, more than I would like, that's for sure. Yeah, more than I would like, but I don't think I'd ever be subscription free. But I definitely, I'm happy to get. The first thing I did was get rid of my Adobe subscription. Yeah, Adobe. I had terrible customer service from them, and they just got more expensive. And then they started putting in AI and everything, and then it just became focused on AI, and they forgot about just like making it good, stable software. Like, I'm paying you hundreds of dollars a month, and you can't even make your software work. I actually had a software company recently that I still use their software, and it's expensive. It's expensive, and they put a lot of these AI features in, which is, it's fine, it's whatever. But it's just getting worse. The software is getting worse and worse, and the price is increasing. And I'm like, I use it every day for most of my work day. And I emailed them and I was like, look, the AI stuff, I get it. The problem is that your fucking software does not work. It does not work, and I lose hours of my day. I've been using it since literally the day you began, and I'm really tired of it. The only reason why I'm using your software still is not because I like it. It's because I'm invested in your ecosystem. If I find an alternative, I'm going to sprint in that direction. But just to let you know, this software is terrible right now, and I really want to be your biggest advocate, but I just can't. Let me see. Senval, Super Chewy discussion. I gotta head out now, but have a great night all. We lost some members in battle here. Thank you, Senval. Thanks for joining. Sam, thank you so much for your super chat. That's very generous. Speaking of supporting creators, take my money. Thank you, Sam. That's very, very, very much appreciated. Just to let everyone know, any funding that comes through this channel, period, all goes to the van build. I put it on, invest it into making things more fun and more interesting in my build. So it all goes towards the build. Will says the EU has the right idea when it comes to consumer protection and regulation. Sam says I switched from Lightroom to Photolab 8 to get away from Adobe. Butterfly Journey says still waiting for a wish list for you. I actually stealth dropped my wish list, or a wish list, in my bio. I just didn't announce it to anyone. I just stealthily put it there, but there is a wish list there. I think I did it right. I'm not 100% sure, but you know what I'm like. I don't. I'm too English and polite when it comes to things like that. Um, but yeah. But yeah, I didn't want to. Sorry, I didn't want to talk about um, open source software. There's a lot of cool, just like not in this sort of down depressing way. There is a lot. The thing that I found recently, to leave it on an up note, when it comes to open source stuff, is I have discovered recently so many cool creators. I found so many cool projects. Especially when it, like, you know, in just like the van buildy stuff, but in like software development and hardware development. Like, I'm a musician, I think I told you. Like, one of the things that I showed this on last, oh, my legs, hold on. I showed this on my last stream, but I've got to give him a shout out because it's a small Australian developer. I know I've got some Australians that follow along, but this little thing is a little music making piece of equipment. Let me cover my face so it can focus on here. There you go. It's called a Woove box, and it makes music. It's like $250, and it was just made by one guy, and he just developed the little hardware himself. And this little machine, not to get too into the weeds about it, does the same as a machine that's like $1,500 made by a big company does. So this is like $250 compared to a $1,500, and it's just by some guy. So that's the other thing about small creators and not big corporations, is that you get to find new and interesting stuff that is unique, that has a quirk to it, and you get to help smaller creators help build their dreams, and that is the coolest thing. So not to talk about the negatives, but to talk about the positives. There's a lot of cool creators out there to support and help them develop what they're doing, and that's what I love about it. That's what I love about the internet, is finding those people and those cool projects and getting involved with that. There's a lot of smaller communities bubbling up now about that, and that's what I love. Got reactions. There's too much to do. I'd love to get a 3D printer, but I can't do that to myself. Yeah, I've definitely thought about getting a 3D printer, but I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be. It's gonna fit in my box truck. Well, it may fit, but it may replace my kitchen. Hi Linda, welcome in. You popped up on my page. You from America? I am from England, but I am in Houston. Thank you for asking. Welcome in. Where are you from? Anyone else who's lurking, watching on, drop in where you're from, what you do, how you doing tonight, what has been going on. Linda says, thank you, hot desert here. Hot desert? Hot desert. Arizona. Arizona. What's the temperature there right now? In Houston, temperature is, let's see where we're at. It's actually hotter in here than I would normally have it. It says it's 90. No, it says it's 80 outside tonight, but it has definitely been over the hundreds today. Definitely been over the hundreds here in Houston, which is why I look like an absolute mess. Dino says, I want to move to Arizona. Arizona definitely seems out like the little van lifey dream. If anyone watching doesn't know who I am and is like, what is this awful decor in this guy's place? I am converting an ex-uHaul truck into a work living space. And this is plywood, and I'm still in process right now. Still figuring it out. But that's why my place looks like crap. Gasquatch. That's the best name I've heard all night. Oklahoma checking in. Welcome, Oklahoma. Sam, Western Kentucky. I feel like that was a typo that is purposeful. Not obviously you're not a fan, or it is a typo and you actually do love Kentucky. Linda says, I'm in southern Arizona. We were 103. Cooled a bit now. Yikes. I guess southern Arizona is slightly less humid than Houston, potentially. Not that it makes it any easier to deal with the heat. Butterfly Journey, Texas, north of Houston. Fellow Texan. I nearly said Texonian. It's I promise, guys, it's been such a day. You can probably tell I'm losing my mind here today. And for those just joining, my truck broke down today. It didn't even break down. The battery died, and I had to jump start it, and then I had to get AAA to jump start it because I'm a noob, basically. So my brain is fried. Super Dave, Brunswick, Georgia. I'm a county worker. Monday to Friday. I read that just as MF, as in mother. So I was just like, oh, okay, Super Dave. Will's in Central Kentucky. Okay, I'm feeling that people in Kentucky have strong feelings about it. Super Dave is waiting for his son to graduate high school before he leaves for good. If anyone doesn't know, Super Dave runs multiple meth labs from his box truck. I'm joking. That is an inside joke. But actually, I don't know. I have no proof either way. Is all I'm going to say on that. Carefree Highway, away south of Georgia line by Suwannee, by the Suwannee. Is that even how you pronounce it? Is that a, what is that? Is that a river? Is that a lake? Is that a place? You've got to educate me. I'm from England. I'm ignorant. I couldn't even name all 50 states. Actually, I don't think a lot of people can name all 50 states. Linda says, yes, no humidity here. Linda, can I send some of my humidity over to you? Please. If you just even give me a PO box, and I'll just put all the humidity into a bucket, and I'll send it to you. You can do whatever you want with it, but I don't want it here. I'd appreciate that a lot. Super Dave says Suwannee River. Am I pronouncing it right? Am I saying it with a weird British accent? Suwannee. Okay, it's a river. I knew that. Hey, if you need to know about anywhere in the States, I can tell you about the Four Corners. I know all about that. Four Corners area. It's beautiful. It's where 4 states join. And if you don't know what states, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I can tell you about Houston, Texas. I just know all about the United States of America. Can you not tell? Linda says absolutely not. No humidity for me. We already made a deal. In my mind, don't back out of the deal. It's not fair. I've got a bucket of humidity here, and now what do I do with it? Am I just gonna second hand now? Just gonna have to dump it? Is that what we're gonna do? Butterfly Journey, we can send the mosquitoes to. Yes. Oh my god, this is becoming the worst care package in the world. Here's a bucket of humidity and mosquitoes. I feel like we're picking on Linda a little bit now. Let's be nice. Got reactions. Not sure I can name them. Okay, I can. Got reactions? Did you just test whether you could name all the 50 states? Okay, Super Dave says, I've been a truck driver for 30 years and I've been to everywhere 50 times. What was it? Was it the is it the Animaniacs that did the 50 states song? Was it Animaniacs? Animaniacs. Was it 50? Oh, it's the state capitals. The 50, yeah, Wacko's 50 state capitals. Yeah, on the TV show The Animaniacs, he sings a song with all the state capitals, but rhyming it as he goes. I should probably learn that. Dino says Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona. Are you talking about the four corners? Dino, if you have to ask that question, I'm just disappointed. I don't know. Can't remember. Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona. Yes. That's the four corners. Linda says, catch me if you can. The mosquitoes will get you. Sam says, fun fact, Kentucky has 50 species of mosquito. That is, I now understand. I now understand why the term Kentucky exists. I guess the sucking is the mosquitoes on people's skin. Got reaction says, I had to think about it, the four corners. Yes. These streams are pretty much just educating me on how to not break my truck, where I should go in the States, what food I should eat. Sometimes we have a lot of food chat. And film recommendations, and sometimes my therapy, especially on days when when my truck is broken down. Linda, you said you travel in your RV. Where are you? Oh, my light went out. Where are you traveling from and to? Who else is traveling? Do a lot of Americans go and do the what's it called? The turning of the leaves? Turning of the leaves? I feel like that's going to be coming up, right? Isn't there going to be a lot of travel? How long does it even last for? That's not a thing in the UK. The UK is like this big. Turning of the leaves is looking out your window and seeing more rain. Kefri Highway says Florida has GMO mosquitoes. I bet. There's some absolute bugger mosquitoes here in Texas. There really is. Linda says, Coconino National Forest is where I boondock. Coconino? Coconino. Check my pronunciation on that one. Gasquatch says, just got back home from Overland of America. What's Overland of America? Linda, I've gone coast to coast a few times. You sound like a seasoned RVer, Linda. I have been doing this for, well, I've not even traveled yet. I converted this box truck, started converting it in January, and working from it. So I'm definitely not anywhere near seasoned. Butterfly Journey. Colorado National Monument is beautiful in the fall with all of the aspen trees changing colors. Yeah, I would definitely. Fall is my favorite season. Fall in Houston is tolerable. Fall is definitely my favorite season. If there was somewhere on the planet where it could be fall for like 9 months of the year, I would live there in an instant. Gasquatch. It's a year Overland Expo that has tons of off-road trails and several other events. Interesting. Whereabouts was that? Linda, northern Arizona, it's beautiful, it snows there. Damn. Interesting. Yeah, Arizona definitely seems popular with van lifey, travelly peeps. Guys, I totally lost track of time. I was only going to do an hour tonight. So I think I am going to play Super Mario Galaxy and turn my mind off, because I've had a very fun night. You've cheered me up from my dodgy day, so thank you for that. I love hanging out with you guys on a Saturday. So I think I'm gonna I'll give it a couple more minutes. If anyone has any burning chats, questions, or anything, but in the meantime, I'm going to say thank you to everyone for joining, for hanging out. Thank you for the super chats as well. That's always appreciated, and will help make this truck a fun little truck, and make it even more ridiculous than it already is. Definitely more ridiculous. For sure. I really need to turn my AC cooler. Really, really do. Yeah. Van Life Meow. Damn late to the party. I just thought to myself, I need to ruin Chris's weekly live stream. Van Life Meow. We've just had 2 hours where the subject of the chat was your van build, how terrible it is, how mean you are as a person, and it's just been terrible. No, thank you for joining, Dave. I do it 7:30 Central is when I normally do live streams. If you guys do want to hang out, 7:30 Central on Saturdays. I nearly didn't do it tonight because my truck broke down, but I managed to get out. I managed to escape, and you guys cheered me up. But anyone who's looking for more content after this should definitely check out Van Life Meow's channel. He is me in a disguise. I do like a fake accent. I like grow my hair. And I do like a better job. It's my dual channel, so that's my second channel is Van Life Meow. Can you imagine I just took credit for all of Dave's channel? Linda says, nice to meet you tonight. Nice to meet you too, Linda. Thank you for joining. Do this every Saturday. About 99% of the Saturdays. Vanlife Meow, can you come and get rid of all my crap for me? You're better at it than I am. It helps when you start with less crap. It definitely helps. Hi Dave, nice build. And have a good time when you leave. It's on us now. Yeah, Dave, for those who don't know, Vanlife Meow is a gentleman called Dave, and he's been building out his u-Haul box truck at the same time as me. Well, actually started earlier and has just pretty much like completed it. I think, Dave, right? I mean, it's never complete. I think, I'm sure of that, but you've literally tore it apart, painted it all, put it back together again, tinted your windows as well. Just done everything. So definitely check out Vanlife Meow's build videos, because there's a lot of cool stuff on his channel. Linda says, okay, maybe see you next week if I have service in the forest. Definitely join next week. The more the merrier. Vanlife Meow, a couple more videos about it, and then he's hitting the road. Let's hope it doesn't hit you back, Dave. Classic. Dave, good to see you. And thank you everyone for dropping by. You're all awesome. You always make my Saturday evenings fun. And yeah, thanks as always for being awesome. Dave, don't be late next time. But other than that, everyone else, no notes, just Dave. And thank you as always, guys, and I appreciate you, and I will see you very soon.